It's your boy, Glytch, back on one of these motherfucking things, you feel me? And this here is,
Meg the Stallion baby daddy here.
Yeah. Welcome to podcast number 2. The first one was a success besides the minor fluke at the end where we fucking lost footage. Won't happen again.
Unless it happens again.
And if
then
it does,
on the next time, won't happen again.
You win some, you lose some.
Or you lose some.
So the main topic that we're touching on today is music to be murdered by. This album over here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I have it over there.
You got the cassette.
I do have the cassette.
You're right over it too.
Oh, was it this one?
Yeah.
Music to be murdered by. Side A and Side B. Obviously, we're going to be touching more on Side B because that's the most recent one. As you can see, my lovely model over here. Anyway, Eminem, better or worse? Let's start with that.
I don't know. That's really hard to say. I know we conversate about it a lot. But it's like some things are better, some things are worse, and then vice versa. I mean, on a personal level, as far as listenability goes, I think it's worse. Not like as in it's shit, but it's like I still prefer the Eminem show over almost any album ever. So it's like I'm always gonna
compare it to the greatest
I'm
of his
clinging
projects.
to that. But I think as far as like where I was watching Dead End Hip Hop's review of Side B specifically, and Mike made a good point about if Eminem were to stop focusing so much on cadence and more on the lyrics,
yeah,
I think that would be a better album.
But we've kind of seen this monster grow from the Eminem show. We can start from there, from a more lyrically inclined artist who based solely on storytelling to a more punchline driven artist.
I don't know if I care so much about him doing the punchlines. I liked it better when Eminem was more about not punchlines, but the imagery.
Yeah, I can see that.
He does imagery really well.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think Eminem does punchlines that well.
I mean, I think it's not just punchlines, too, that he's focusing on in this album, and Revival and Kamikaze, and some extent even, like, especially Relapse. He's kind of focused more on cadence and trying to fit like words where they wouldn't normally fit, and he's been trying to perfect that. And I think we see more of like the collation of him reaching peak at that. And you can tell that he did it a lot on fucking Revival, where he was like fucking everywhere with the cadences, with the what's that word? What he did on Stepping Stones. Where it's like the
staccato.
Staccato, yeah. You can see where he tried to do everything in one fucking album, and as we know, Revival is not nearly as good as his other work because the focus there takes away from like the substance of the album.
Yeah,
I think it shows. It really does show.
It's I've brought this up before. It's all like. I hate to say this. It's like, yes, it is impressive that you can do these flows and these cadences, but it's just like I can compare it to basketball. The first season that Russell Westbrook, he averaged a triple-double. So that means you had double digits and like points, steals, rebounds, assists, something. 3 stats you were in the double digits for. That's a triple-double. He averaged that for the entire season, 82 games.
Okay.
So the first time he did it, it was super impressive. Everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? He's playing like crazy. The next season did the same thing. Less people cared. Next season did the same thing, and you don't even hear about it anymore. It's not even brought up.
It's just normalized.
Yeah, at this point, it's like we know you can flow really good. Nobody's ever saying Eminem can't flow.
Yeah.
Like,
in fact, that's kind of like the parodies of him as somebody who's over eccentric with flows and with the whole constant like a fucking awfully hot coffee pot. Yeah,
it's like flow is not the only part of music. Like
it is true. It is not. that you have many different branches that you need to touch on in an album, which is like the Eminem show. He did a really good job on touching on every single basis of
That's the thing
storytelling,
I
rhyme
run
scheme.
back to. It's like, because it's like, even in Music to Be Murdered by Side 8, there's songs where he's not like super staccatoed, and I mean, you still get a variant of that on every single song now, but it's like, it's not as bad, and Side B's not as bad in some places too. But it's like, yeah, you've already proven it that you can be rhythmic about it. You can have your cadence, but you can still have a song that sounds good. It like takes away from the, and then too, like if you watch Stevie Knight react to Eminem, like if you watch a regular reaction by Stevie Knight, that bitch is like 8 to 13 minutes. Listens to the songs, he covers his points. Every Eminem song is like 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Because it's like, you can't really just sit there and enjoy his points, because it's so... Now
you have to analyze every single bar.
Every single bar. You have to analyze every single way that it's said, which is like... It's not that it isn't impressive, but not everybody has an attention span.
Oh, definitely. That could be also detrimental to modern-day music with him. That's probably why he's kind of falling off, because he's too focused on, wordplay that goes straight over people's heads.
And then it's like, I said this earlier too while we were talking, it's like, I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but it's like Eminem says uses a lot of words to say nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like...
He's more focused on the words he's saying versus what he's saying.
Yeah, that's my whole feel with like Side B. Like, there's no song really on Side B that sticks to one thing, really, and covers that. Like, there's a lot of that on Side A.
Like Darkness or Stepdad or...
Yeah, people may hate Stepdad, but it covers the story. Even the songs are like Royce and that, where he's like, they're paying homages and shit like that. He's just rapping to rap on Side B.
Yeah, I think...
Which is more catchy.
It is more catchy.
But I think in the long run, it's like give it a year or two, you're not going to be... Because it's like, when you want to listen to music, you usually want to listen to it for mood or for whatever you're going through. And it's like, I don't know if any of that's going to hold up aside from Higher.
Yeah, he's trying to follow the blueprint of, he brought it up in Kamikaze about people are rapping to nothing and they can't stick to a subject. And now he's trying to do that because that's what's popping now. But what he fails to understand is, like, you have a song that's super catchy. Everybody loves it. It's not saying shit like Panda. Who the fuck's talking about Panda anymore? That did not age well.
Panda was hot as fuck when it came out.
Yes, it was. So I can see why, Side B will end up not aging well, because it'll end up like on the same scale as Panda. Nothing being said.
Side B did another thing that I don't necessarily like. Is I can't remember who else did this recently. Oh, J. Cole did this recently too on KOD, where like you talk about how you don't necessarily like the direction of music or how it sounds, and then
you do it.
You do it. I hate that. I honestly feel like if you are a superstar rapper, and J. Cole's probably up there. I know it gets debated, but going platinum, no features, whatever. We've all heard the fucking meme. Kendrick, Drake to a degree too is starting to kind of do this. If you're that level of rapper, you set the trend, or should set the trend. The second you're no longer setting the trend, I feel like that's the beginning of the end. Once you're copying what's out. It's like, look at Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre has never copied what's out. And every time Dr. Dre comes out, it's a fucking focal point. Same with Kendrick. I mean, he did his little bits of shots of shit on Damn, but like, Damn didn't sound like anything that was out. Even his Humble didn't sound like the shit it was mimicking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I'm not a big fan of the, like, if you can't beat them, then join them. I don't believe in that.
It sucks too, because you have a titan like Eminem who has such a big fan base. He has the power to start trends, but it's like he has tunnel vision, trying to prove that he can stand up with these modern rappers as opposed to going past them.
I do like him on the music though, I'm not gonna lie. I do think he sounds pretty good on the beats, but it's like, I don't know, it's like when you hear him use words like cray and shit like that, like...
I think Side B is more of a testament to Eminem having fun, finally. You can tell the difference between, even with Side A to Side B, you can tell Side A was recorded way before Side B, and Side B is more him getting, like, acclimated to that type of music, and you can hear it in the cadence, you can hear it in the inflection of his voice that he sounds like he likes what he's rapping.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's more so what I would want Eminem to do now for himself now. It's like, just make what it is you want to make for you. You're going to get criticized no matter which fucking way you go about it, no matter what. Like, people are going to... Nobody wants to be a dick rider, nobody wants to be a fanboy, and everybody likes to talk shit anyway. So no matter which way you go, you're going to lose. He could drop the Eminem show too tomorrow, and it could be a mirror image, or the original Marshall Mathers, and it be a mirror image, and it's still going to get fucking reamed upside down and fucking sideways. But a good debate I want to get into is like, or ask why you think this. Like, a lot of people say that Royce continually gets better every single time out. What differentiates him from M?
I think the fan base. I think M, knowing he has so many, branches of his fans to hit. So you have people who like Relapse and don't like anything else. You got people who like Recovery and don't like anything else. You got people that like Old School Some Shady. So when he makes an album, like my biggest example is Revival, the flop. You had the song like Framed, which was targeted towards relapse-oriented fans. Then you had songs like Walk on Water, which was, I think, was an attempt for people who liked the Eminem LP2, and a whole bunch of the samples, and he was just trying to hit every single fan base, and in the end, it made a non-coherent album. And I think Royce da 5'9", his fan base is one specific type of people, like the old heads who like rapping for rapping and having to tell something. So Royce is more like fine pointed to a specific thing, a specific genre. I think Eminem just needs to fucking say, fuck these fans, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I think Royce is in a point where he's doing what he wants to do, and that fan base relates and likes that.
I was gonna say, because Royce may be more so pigeonholed into a certain type of thing, but it's like, you could look at it like Prime doesn't sound like Layers.
No.
Book of Ryan doesn't sound like Layers. Allegory doesn't sound like the Book of Ryan or Prime, but they're all thematic, and he sticks to that point. And it's like, this is the album. Like it or not. I think that's better than trying to. All right, well, I fucking gotta have this song, or well, trying to impress everybody. You're gonna piss everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think Royce is also better at conceptually staying in one lane and not veering. Like, if he has one project dedicated to like theatrical films, because I know Hamilton was a really big inspiration for the Book of Ryan, he stuck to that and he went all in. Well, Eminem tries to hit everything, and I think that's really a crucial part of why Eminem isn't sounding the same, because he's trying to sound like old M, new M, relapse M, recovery M, and trying to put it all into one fucking album so it doesn't sound the same. And I think like Side B is one of the examples where he finally stayed in a lane. It just wasn't the right lane, in my opinion.
I don't know if I can say it is or it isn't. I think more time's got to be spent with it. And it seems like with Side B even more so than Side A, you either loved Side B or you hated it. There's like no fucking middle ground. I mean, it's not, I don't know. It's like, I'm a big fucking Lil Wayne dick rider, so I like just rapping for the sake of rapping all the time. I prefer that. That is my favorite type of rap. I go to that. I like slaughterhouses like that, where they weren't necessarily saying anything. They're just rapping, which is fine. I don't know why this feels like it doesn't hit the mark, though, with him rapping for the sake of rapping. It doesn't feel like it should, I guess. I don't know.
It feels kind of like he's just trying to adapt into the modern climate, which is ever adapting. And Eminem's a rapper. I mean, we've touched on this before, of how Eminem seems to be very focused on wordplay and cadence, and I think he's stuck to that. And I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what more do you have to prove? On top of that, he has this kind of like inner hatred of himself. It seems like he thinks he is not done enough, so he's gonna keep trying to outdo himself, even though Eminem was the best-selling artist of the 2010s. Like, where do you go from there? I know he made a song called Higher where he's like he keeps reaching up and up, but there has to be a point where you stagnate and you stay there, like Jay-Z or Kanye, who stay still in that realm and continue in that realm. If you want to climb up, you have to go back down or start from the bottom, like Kendrick and J. Cole. They're fucking great right now because they started here and they're climbing. Eminem peaked with fucking the Some Shady LP, peaked again with the Marshall Mathers LP, peaked again with 8 Mile and the Eminem Show, and he's on the descent. Relapse and Recovery brought him up, but these are different fan bases that are pulling him up. And you can't even count numbers anymore because you have the argument of physical copies, streaming copies. Back whenever the Eminem Show came out, it sold a lot because every album sell was a person. So all these numbers related to people. While now you have hardcore Eminem fans who are streaming the fucking Music to Be Murdered By 30 times, 40 times because they fucking love it. So those 40 sales are still one person. So while his fan base may be smaller, they're fucking overplaying it, so it kind of inflates it. So Eminem falls along this line of he's already reached the point where he's on top, he's making all the money. What more does he have to prove?
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think there's anything else to prove. But I think for him, he hasn't come to that, like, realization yet. Like, you hear it in the records where he talks about, like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But you can still see in the records that he still panders.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he says he's not designer, that he doesn't pander.
Panda.
But yeah, for real though, I think, honestly, the best thing to do is, like, decide what it is you really want to do. What you want to rap like, what you want to go over, and then just for him, if you're going to keep making albums, just make something you really like instead of trying to make something that you think is going to appease everybody. Like, art is subject to criticism. Like, art is art. Like, but as soon as you start doing shit because other people are doing shit, it's just, at that point, you're making replicas at that point. It's like, how many times do we have to hear people rap like the Migos? Like, the Migos are already everywhere, and everybody trying to rap like the fucking Migos.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you gotta let the trends play out. Like, the trends with the Lils is like, who's talking about Lil Yachty anymore? I haven't heard that name in fucking forever. Like,
and then when they do fall off, they gotta do something super insane, like get a goddamn $24 million crystal on their fucking head just to stay relevant. I think you know who I'm talking about. But when you're driven to a point that it's no longer music keeping you relevant, the trend's over.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Like trends in hip hop, there's always been like stupid bullshit that was the radio trend and the focal point of that era. Like, this is another one. You just gotta let the times come and go. Like, good music is always gonna be there. Like, I think the biggest thing is now is you don't have anybody that focuses on lyrics anymore because they would rather just hop on the trend. Most of these rappers aren't rappers. They're personalities trying to get a fucking check. So now you're jumping on the wave of people who don't even know this culture.
Yeah.
Or understand it enough to fucking do it. So, yeah, it's all fucked up at that point. I think
the odds are really against Eminem in this. They really are.
Yeah.
Then you have you have trends, and then you have Eminem who's stuck in this like spotlight because he's Eminem, and because of his personality he had back in Slim Shady, he's always up for criticism. Back then he was very against, what the popular consensus of what was correct, and because he started off like that, we are now in a time where there's like more eyes on him now. And he can keep dropping like the F word and dropping all this shit to piss people off, but now it's just overplayed. It's corny. It's not just corny too, but it's wrong. You have cancel culture now. So either he follows that suit and runs the risk of becoming, ignored and canceled like the writer of Harry Potter did, or he can step back, politically correct himself. Now he's held on a different chopping block for turning on himself.
For not being real.
For not being real.
I think the biggest problem about that is that he dips his toes in both sets of waters.
He does. He really does.
And he hasn't necessarily picked a side. Like, if you're gonna be controversial, that's fucking fine. Be controversial. But, like, don't be like, I'm gonna call somebody a faggot and then censor the word. Or be like, I even make the bitches I rape come, but it's censored. That makes be Dre than M. But it's like, if you're gonna say the line, own up to the fucking line. I think that too back in the day. Like, when Eminem was saying the shit he was saying back then, yeah, he was tongue-in-cheek about it. But you could tell, like, yeah, part of it was to get a rise. But he honestly felt like, man, I have a voice. Like, why are y'all trying to censor music? And now you openly censor your own music.
Yeah, that's very, like, two-sided.
Yeah,
it's a two-faced thing to do. And I don't know if that's between him and his legal team, or if he's under some sort of contract he's abiding by. Maybe fucking Illuminati. Who the fuck knows anymore?
I don't believe in the Illuminati. I don't believe in cancel culture either. I think cancel culture is that's like you brought up fucking J.K. Rowling. Like she got canceled, but it's like when the next fucking Harry Potter movie comes out, I can bet your fucking ass it's gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's like, how canceled is J.K. Rowling, really?
Not really. And then they are like, we're gonna stop buying products that are Harry Potter, except for these products were already sold to Walmart, to Target, to people that already paid the fucking producer. So she's getting paid regardless. You
gotta think too, like, when you read all these fucking numbers of like people that are canceling, like, these are fucking Twitter numbers and like Instagram numbers. Like, people like and do shit all the fucking time and don't have any fucking clue what's really going on. So somebody could be like, fuck Eminem, and they could have a fucking million likes. When the next album comes out, it's gonna go platinum.
Yep.
No matter what.
Features or not.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. So, like,
even when he puts garbage out, he still gets the bag. And I think it's so stupid that he's able to still make money off this shit and doesn't do what he wants. Like, if I was at a point where anything I produce got me in fucking platinum or diamond, fuck pandering. Like, I literally have a get out of jail free card. I can do what the fuck I feel, still make a living way more than a living off it, and feel good about myself that, hey, I finally made a lo-fi album, or hey, I finally did a fucking a revival. Like, they didn't like it, but I said what I wanted to say. And then you can play on it like, y'all are just mad that I said what I wanted to say. But I still got paid.
Revival fucked him up. Like, honestly.
You think making Revival, or what happened after?
I think the outcome of it really fucked him up. Like, because before then, like, a lot of people were like, we didn't like fucking Relapse, but like, when Relapse was out, we were around in that time. Wasn't nobody fucking, like, really bashing Relapse like that. It's still
they were still playing songs in there, like Crack a Bottle. That was fucking huge.
It was huge. Came out. I don't think Eminem, like, you could tell he was hurt by it, that they hated his album, and I think that he's never had that before. Like, he had little groups of, like, LGBTQ whatever not liking
and, like,
it,
the Moms Association.
Yeah, moms and shit like that. But, like, in hip hop, his shit was still mostly respected.
Yeah.
I think once it got, like, disrespected in hip hop, it fucked his brain up. I don't think he
didn't anticipate anything backfiring on him like that.
Yeah, not in hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, then you got, like, the Snoop shit too. It's like, so, and it's, I know we're nitpicking and talking points here too, but it's like Eminem is literally at the point where, like, you can't win. There isn't any, you're gonna lose no matter what. So just fucking do what you want. It's really that fucking simple. Just do what you want.
If it's a lose-lose, go all in. I mean, I think not only is it just from his past and the way it is in hip-hop, with now you have reactors and reviewers who, most of the reactors that react to Eminem, they do understand rap. And you can watch these videos and you can see the respect for Eminem. Yeah. But then you get to reviewers, like, I'm going to bring up Fantano, who's a musically inclined reviewer, not so much in the rap field with his kind of oversights. And I think that these people are held on a pedestal to get their own opinion from. And I think that was a
imagine
big
M
problem.
watches reviewers.
Oh, I'm sure, but my point is that the people that watch the reviewers to get an opinion from them, who don't even listen to the album, if Fantano goes out, because we both know Fantano can't rap. We both know Fantano doesn't really have bars, but yet he's put on a pedestal to critique bars. I think that's some bullshit. And you have people who are watching Fantano who didn't buy Music to be Murdered by or didn't buy Kamikaze and are like, hey, he said that was a shit album. I'm gonna go tell everybody, nah, I didn't buy that album. It was a fucking shit album. Like, you see it all the time in game reviews too. You have people who review games say they're shit, and now everybody thinks it's shit who haven't even played it. And then these reviewers, you find out, didn't even finish the game. So I think that's against him too. And on top of that, I know it's really hard to bring up the race card, but Eminem being white also kind of has a problem in it because he's a guest in hip-hop. He's a white rapper. He's brought in a whole generation of white rappers who people, for some reason, don't like, who are old heads. And I think it's a race thing. Yeah, but
let's just do a list of... Token is the exception. Token, you are a dog, bro. Like, real shit. If you watch this, go check out the other page. Too Dim Records. Feature with your boys. Token is the exception. I honestly am going to say MGK is kind of the exception lately, but, like, even MGK, he's had his moments of not being that great. Yeah. Macklemore.
Mm-hmm.
Need I say anything else?
Then you have Mac Miller, NF, G-Eazy, people who still have a big fan base, but let's be honest here, that fan base isn't predominantly black.
Aside from Mac Miller, I was about to say, the other ones you mentioned aren't necessarily treated like rappers. Like, I'm not gonna say...
But you see my point, they're not treated like rappers.
Those are pop stars.
I don't think they, even if they were to leave the pop star genre and come to rap, they wouldn't be taken seriously. And I think that subconscious, not taken seriously opinion also falls on Eminem. Not as much because Eminem was like straight up rap when he started, but you hear it all the time that Eminem's not played in like the streets. Nobody drives around bumping Eminem.
I think it's because you can't.
What do you mean?
Eminem doesn't make music that's for that. Like, it's not reflective of the everyday scenario. That. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, there's, I think the music you hear in these scenarios or in these locations are relative to the people and the culture. That's why you hear more like Migos or Jay-Z or Wayne or whoever's out that week, because it's more relative to what's actually going on. Eminem no longer makes music that's relative to that.
But even when he was, it still wasn't being played.
I disagree.
Do you think it was being played?
I'm pretty sure the Marshall Mathers LP at that time was getting played, and the Eminem show at that time was getting played. Maybe not the Slim Shady. I wouldn't know.
I was a fucking child during the Slim Shady LP and the Marshall Mathers LP, so I wasn't fucking driving around fucking
Even when I started growing up like that, though, like, everybody I knew or had ran into was a Marshall Mathers LP fan, and that, be it fucking black, Asian, Mexican, whatever, it didn't matter. Everybody listened to the fucking Marshall Mathers LP. Like, everybody talks about Eminem, like, oh, that don't play in the hood, but everybody knows that album.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I think at that, and a lot of it was relative to that time. There was some zany shit on there, but it was more, he made songs that people could relate to, like The Way I Am, or even Marshall Mathers talking about, like,
Rock Bottom.
Yeah, Rock Bottom. Like, there was songs you could relate to. So I don't think, nothing he's really rapping about now is shit that you're going to be like, hey, you know what, that's me. Like, he really encapsulated my whole fucking life right here with this one.
Yeah, I too don't own a foosball table.
Yeah. You got me, Em. See, I fucks with that.
But it's like, I don't see him ever going back to that. I mean, even in the songs where he does, he even, like, makes it a point that was the past and not now.
I think, honestly, at that point, I think you can see it in kind of like Drake, too. The artists that get that big, I don't think they can make music that's relatable if you don't still have your toes in your roots or in what's actually going on. I assume, like, Big Sean still comes home to Detroit and walks around and does that kind of thing. Not that he's at the fucking like Kroger, you know, like bumping shoulders with motherfuckers to pick up a cheese wheel or nothing. But he probably still comes home. Everybody knows J. Cole still lives relatively small compared to his name. Kendrick still goes to Compton. Eminem hides in his mansion from his own words. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and he only has people that come from outside to come in and tell him, but he's not. Nobody has access to him like that. I think that's a detriment.
Do you think that's because he's scared, or he just doesn't want to fucking be reminded or be, I don't know, sucked into that lifestyle again?
I don't think at this point you would, but I mean every person's different too. I think at this point, like, we've been there, you know me, we lived together for a while. It's like, at one point I was so fucking indoctrinated to staying at home, like, that's just all I fucking wanted to do.
So
like,
do you think it's because he's just naturally an introvert?
Yeah, I mean, because from what I understand, hearing interviews and shit like that from Royce and Porter, is like, he's kind of always been that way. But I think at one time when he was with D12 and with Royce and was still touring with Dre and all that shit, he was more in tune or more, like, out there than just being at home, recording, writing, being at home, writing, recording. Like, that seems to be the start and stop of his whole existence at this point. So now what do you do besides perfect rapping? You know what I'm saying?
So you think he needs to go back to his roots, kind of on some movie shit? Go back and act like he's poor again?
I don't think you have to go back and act like you're poor, but I think you have to make yourself accessible to some degree. You gotta do something, because at this point, where are you drawing your inspiration from?
Your past. I think that's pretty much all he's drawing inspiration from.
But none of the music he makes sounds like anything from the past. It's just...
I don't think he's trying to make it sound like from the past, but that's what he's talking about. I mean, every song where he talks about struggling, it's blatantly obvious he's talking about the past. I mean, he's not putting himself in that situation mentally. He's just bringing up how that one time that I slept in the house and so on and so forth.
See, that leads me to believe when I hear it is that it's not genuine to you anymore. It's like, we both rap. We know how it is. If you can hear how it comes off, like if you don't believe what it is you're saying, it doesn't sound right.
But how can he not believe what he's saying if it did happen? Is it more of the going back to him being lost and just trying to make it sound the way he wants it to sound?
I think it's like Nas said when he was like, I'm gonna be honest, I've been rich longer than I've been poor.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, you don't relate to that anymore because you're so far removed from it. I'm not saying like it didn't happen. It actually happened. But at this point, like, Eminem's been rich for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how much do you still relate to shit that happened to you 30 years ago? Like, let's preface this here. Let's go back to your high school years. How much do you relate to shit that happened to you 4 or 5 years ago now, today?
What do you mean, how much that I relate to it?
Like, those emotions. Do you still feel those same emotions from 4 or 5 years ago?
If I put myself in that place, I can. But not like...
But not relative...
when I'm working or when I'm doing shit.
But it's not going to be relative to when you felt them.
It might be a me thing, but I can get right back into those places. Be it through listening to music or...
I'm not saying that, because I could get there too. I'm saying it's like when you first get your heart broken in high school. When that very first happens to you, it's the most grandest fucking thing to happen to you until something else happens to you. And then you look back on it and you're like if you think about it, you're like, oh, fuck, dude, that shit hurt. But you're not going to go fucking... like, go cry about it and, like, that's what I mean more so. Like, you may relate to it, but you don't feel it the same.
I guess, I mean, kind of, you're saying, like, I have money now, why do I need to dwell on the past, so...
Maybe. I'm not saying that's what Eminem's doing. I'm saying that it could be a possibility. That sounds similar to what's happening. It kind of be like that with Nas on his last few projects where people are like...
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't listened... I haven't really like deep dived into his last few projects. So
But he does
I'm not
it.
sure.
Same thing. Like he said, I've been rich longer than I've been poor. He didn't come off like he did on Illmatic or It Was Written, because he's so far removed from that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think you start to see it with Jay-Z now too. I don't know, we're neither one of us are the biggest Jay-Z fans, but he's not rapping on 444 as he is on Reasonable Doubt. He's a fucking billionaire now.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't still relate to selling fucking coke.
So what do you think Eminem should do right now, being in the place he's at? Do you think he should retire? Because I know that's kind of up in conversation a lot. People assuming this was his last album with the subtle hints he's been giving.
I don't think it's really up to me to say, like,
yeah, I mean, this is conjecture.
Oh.
In your opinion.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's get into the point of, like, I think if he wants to rap, that's fine. Still rap. Like, it's still going to get criticized. Like, even now, I'm not a side B hater or anything like that. I like side B. I just think it's a little bit worse than side A. It's more catchy for sure, but it's like I said, there's not saying all it. But it's just like, if you want to still rap and can still rap, go ahead. But I think as far as, like, if you're rapping for the point of, like, anything other than the fact that that's just what you want to do, I would retire. For me, I think maybe go find something else to do. Like, because you've done everything. It's not an insult or like you're too old to rap or anything like that. It's just like you don't have anything else to say. Mm-hmm. It seems like
you also don't have anything else to accomplish anymore.
Yeah, if it were me, if I were Eminem at this point, I would have retired at that point. Once I've hit the highest level of highs, aside from like maybe doing features and something like that, maybe do like EPs or something. I don't know. Like you could still do whatever, but I would have retired at that point because I'm not going to be able to still make those albums. Once it stops feeling like it does now, like as long as it isn't, if I'm not having fun with it or feel what I'm saying, that's it. I think that's time to hang it up. Once you start having those thoughts of, well, should I? I think maybe you should at that point.
But I also feel like the whole, when you feel like you've reached your top, to stop. But he reached his top in Slim Shady LP. If he were to have stopped, we would have never gotten anything after that. Then he did Eminem LP. He did Better Numbers with Stan. Then he should have stopped there. But then he went and did 8 Mile, got an Oscar. That's like, when you keep breaking the ceiling, I feel like you get addicted to that. Like, oh, I can still break my ceiling. Let me see if I can do it again. And then do it again. Oh, I broke my ceiling. Let me see if I can do it again. And then you do like Revival, to where for the first time you didn't break your ceiling. And now you're stuck in this kind of like depressed state of, well, shit, I couldn't do it. Then I'm kind of torn. If it were me, if I were to quit, I couldn't quit on Revival. There's no way. Mm-hmm. I would fucking regret my entire life had I quit and rap after Revival. I gotta make something better. Not so much to break the ceiling again,
but to
leave on a good note.
That's like I said, like, so for me as a fan, I don't want Eminem to retire. I still think Eminem's still rapping better than most people out, if not everybody out, besides Meg Thee Stallion. I see you. Honestly, but yeah, it still sounds good. I'm just saying, as far as this whole, like, debate goes, like, I still prefer old M over new M. Not that new M is, like, unlistenable or anything like that, but I do think that old M fucking dwarfs new Eminem. Is more so what I'm saying. But it's like, for me, if I were Eminem, I would retire. But if he still feels like he has the juice, or he has shit he wants to rap about, and it's like, shit, it's like I said, my favorite form of rap is rapping for the sake of rapping, and that's what you want to do, fucking keep going till you fucking blow your fucking larynx out or croak, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, art is art still at the end of the day. It's a preference thing at this point. It's not like his records have stopped fucking selling. I'm pretty sure this is platinum already. So,
do you think that maybe he should probably focus more on, like, being a father or something?
Not at this point. Your kids are grown.
Yeah, but
I feel like he did. I feel like he took his time when he started to get clean, and then he doesn't really tour now, so it's like I don't think he's missing anything out. I think that would have been a better point at the beginning of his career when his babies were still babies and young at that point. But shit, everybody's an adult now. At this point, you're just living for you. So why not just fucking keep rapping? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
Let's take an intermission.
We'll be back.
I've had to piss for so long. We'll be back, baby. Still talking about your boy, Eminem.
Been haul a coffin. I mean, you can't even haul a coffin. We are back. We just got through smoking an acid cigar. In case we want to... it's all the fucking way over there. In case y'all want to sponsor us.
Yeah. Sponsor us. Yeah. Alright, so point that was brought up while we were on intermission was novelty rap. I'll let you take the lead.
Novelty rap. I think Kyle brought up the better point of it.
Man, he fucked me. But talking about how
Eminem does novelty rap. And I think this is a pretty solid argument because when we talk about hip-hop and the culture of hip-hop, Eminem is kind of... he strays away from that. I mean, I brought up that he's kind of embedded in hip-hop because of the impact he had on the culture of hip-hop. But now he is perfected rapping and perfected inner rhyme schemes and stuff that now it's to the point that you have to listen to his songs with the intent of going through every single bar, re-listening to the entire song. Almost like his novelty, you know? Something that you have just because it looks cool or it does something. That's what Eminem makes.
Yeah. I think as far as like doing that, it's like he really closes himself off from getting new fans that way. Because like a lot of people, music attention span is short nowadays. Like most songs are 2 minutes. You got motherfuckers releasing album cuts where they don't even break the 2-minute mark. And now not only are your songs 3-4 minutes long, now I have to listen to the way that you enunciated the words. I have to listen for how you punctuated in the middle, but you also punctuated in the end. Now I have to go back and realize that this was a fucking quintuple entendre. And then it's just like, I imagine for a lot of people that's a lot. Not for me and or Vic here. We are Eminem fans. We like that. We're going to buy every Eminem album that comes out. I even have Revival on my wall, even though that album is ass. As well as Recovery, also ass. I got all them shits up there.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
That's an awfully lot of ass songs on 2 albums.
That's an awfully lot of fucking salt.
Yeah, no. It ain't salt. I hate those albums.
Yeah,
Vic also hates Recovery. Don't let him fool you. That shit is
I'm just saying that it's stirring the pot on this one.
Stirring the pot. If you like Recovery, okay.
Rap ain't for you.
Recovery is not good, man. It's not good. But that Recovery started a lot of the shit that everybody like bitches about now, but they act like was fucking like so great when it fucking happened. Like a lot of the shitty choruses, the singing. I know he was singing before that, but he was really fucking singing on Recovery, man.
Yeah, he was.
The staccato flow started at Recovery.
I do not have Recovery on my wall, so...
I do. It's okay. I love Eminem. We love you, Em. I'm just playing, Em. You know I love you. But no, they're still ass. I'm not backtracking on that. Relapse is good though. Everybody that says Relapse isn't good, come on, man.
Listen to it again.
Yeah, Relapse is really good. I mean, there's probably a couple cuts on there that maybe aren't good or have too many accents or whatever. But like, what fucking album comes out nowadays that every song is perfect? And if anybody comments a Lil Uzi Vert album, kill yourself.
Playboy Cardi. Or the fucking 5.
Oh
I gotta say though, regardless of the criticism upon Eminem and his projects, I have to go out and say I don't think anybody in the game right now is still rapping better than Eminem.
No.
I mean, there are people who we can say, like Royce da 5'9", or even in some sense, even I haven't listened to any real recent Lil Wayne, but I'm pretty sure he's also up in the argument of still up there with Eminem. But
nobody is rapping like Eminem, but there's still people that are rapping that can still give you that same that feeling, because obviously every rapper doesn't sound the same. There's different, like M doesn't sound like Nas, but Nas will get me just as hype as M. It's like Eminem is probably the best rapper. Not my favorite rapper, still in my top fives. My favorite rapper is Wayne, but technically speaking, the best rhymer, the best at rhyming for sure, I think.
Oh yeah, that I don't think it's debatable with the rhyming, with rhyming and cadence.
The only person I can think to argue that with is Tech Nine.
Tech Nine, that's a whole other tangent. Tech Nine is I think Tech Nine's a good rapper, but
I'm just talking about cadence and rhyming.
But Tech Nine's been doing the same shit. We can't sit here and argue Eminem's been doing the same shit.
I'm not gonna argue.
That's why I put Eminem above Tech Nine, because Tech Nine's still, if you were to go listen to a song he has now where he's rapping fast and listen to a song 10 years ago, you'll still find
I'm just saying as making it comparable. Like, I could compare a Tech Nine verse to a current Eminem verse, and it could probably be a toss-up.
I don't know. I have to agree to disagree. And I could also be because I'm not a big Tech Nine fan.
I'm not either. I'm just not as visibly biased as Vic.
Neither
Vic's
am I.
a huge Eminem dick rider.
Yeah, but I have reasons, though. I listen to quite a bit, and let me tell you, I go back to M. And I think with the same argument with, like, Slaughterhouse.
Do you think that's a detriment to your perspective?
Oh yeah. We've brought this up many times. If you were to get obsessed with wordplay and the way the art of lyric, and you go into Eminem and you listen to Eminem and realize everything is a fucking bar or a entendre, a double, triple, quadruple entendre, you get spoiled. You get to, like, well, fucking Drake ain't writing like this, or I can't say Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne does also have fucking hard entendres, but like anybody else in the game, even Royce da 5'9" doesn't have as many entendres. It's kind of a spoiled thing, which is why when I was into Eminem for the longest time, it was really hard for me to listen to anyone else. And then I got to Slaughterhouse, and Slaughterhouse was the equivalent, in my opinion, to Eminem, where I could go back and I'll catch things that I missed the first listen, the second listen, the third listen. Yeah. I like that. I get hard when I'm like, I missed that? How the fuck did I miss that? What the fuck? But I don't get that shit from Kanye or Jay-Z or, I mean, if you want to talk about like Biggie or Tupac, it's spoiled is what it is. And it is a detriment. Like, if you want to go in this bitch and you want to enjoy other music without being biased, don't listen to Eminem.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot right there.
I'm just saying.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I grew up on Eminem early in my childhood, but I look at all types of different music. You know, my shit is branched out way farther when it comes to rap. And
like when you listen to 6ix9ine.
I did, man. Yeah. I was on that bandwagon. I don't care that he snitched, though. I'm just mad he started making, like, worse music than he already was. I don't give a fuck about snitching. Like,
I'd snitch too, man, if my fucking team did that shit to me. Oof.
I'm not snitching. I'm just saying I don't care if he snitched. It's like that's not my life, bro. I'm not
if
a
y'all
blood.
Kidnap me and beat my ass.
Fuck my baby mama.
All cards are off the table, bro.
There's I do think he has good reasons for sure, but like yeah. And then I fell out in love with all the like trolling shit and the fucking. It's whatever. It was cool when it came out. Everybody was like, man, it was cool until they found out he was snitching. Then everybody be like, oh man, fucking 6ix9ine. Like, I'll take that L. I hold that L for all of us, okay? I take that. But honestly, like, I'm more willing to branch out. Like, I listen to 6ix9ine, King Von, Montana 300, Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, and it's like I can look at them all individually based. So, I mean, maybe that's just me. I don't know, but I don't think that's necessarily like you're super spoiled. I also think too about the entendres, because that gets brought up a lot that Eminem does entendres. They have to be good entendres, though. Like,
I don't know. An entendre is an entendre is an entendre.
That doesn't make it good, though. That's just like a bar is a bar is a bar. Like, but if you have shitty bars, they're still shit. Like, Fantano had bars. They just sucked dick. They weren't any good. Like, that's just my whole point. Like,
yeah, but I can't sit here and seriously compare Fantano's bars to Eminem's bars at all. Like, that's out of the discussion in my head.
I'm not saying compare him to Fantano. I'm just saying compare him to good bars. If you compare him to good bars, a lot of the time, they're not good bars or punchlines. I don't want to do the pee on your head like a Philly cap, but it's just like there's a lot of shit like that on side B that like ruins.
My argument on that is on my Lyric Authority. You should go watch that.
Yeah, Lyric Authority's on the same channel. Me personally, I don't like bars that sound like dad jokes. Those take me out of the song. Like when I listen to rap for the same reason a lot of people do. I want to feel like, oh man, the next motherfucker I see, I'm gonna punch this motherfucker. And then when I hear somebody go downright below knee, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like when I see somebody, I gotta be like, yes sir. Like,
I don't know. I think it's kind of more of him pulling on the brakes a bit for people who are analyzing every single bar. I think it's more of like, here's an easy one, so you don't gotta hurt yourself for this bar. Boom, that's for you. It could either be that or just fucking Eminem playing around. And he does play around a lot, especially on side B. He plays around a lot.
I agree. It's like I said, I hate to like compare new to old, but it's like it was more fun when he played around back in the day because he wasn't giving you like cringy, corny bars. He was giving you just zany imagery. And like the way he was doing it was fucking funny. Like, yeah. Like I don't laugh when it happens now. I just go.
Yeah, but when he gives zany imagery now, people find that as corny too. I've seen the argument a lot when he goes back to the imagery shit. I know, like when he did the imagery on The Ringer, everybody fucking cringed at it, and they were all like, "Why would you do this? I'm not here to listen to putting a fucking crest strip on the tip of my dick with an ice pick, but this is zany imagery."
I think it's the only thing that make that one specifically, I could see why it's a little bit annoying, just because of the like. The staccato flow and like how long he fucking went on with it. Like,
yeah, but if you go listen to Get You Mad, it's these imageries continue also. They go on. But people liked that. But not anymore. I think it's just the culture.
I think it's the way you approach it. I do. I honestly think it's the way you approach it. Like if I hear it now, I'm still, if it's good imagery, I'm gonna be like, bruh. Like I'm gonna get that smirk and I'm gonna be like, that was good. Like, it doesn't matter what age it's in. I think it's just the way you approach it.
No, I'm not speaking for us. I'm speaking for the popular consensus here, where I've seen reactors and reviewers.
Popular consensus is stupid.
Yes, but that's the popular consensus still.
Stop listening to popular consensus. Don't even listen to my consensus. Just masturbate with your money and make the albums that you like to make, man. The more I think about like popular consensus, I'm like, bro, I hope we get canceled this episode. Like,
fingers crossed, episode 2.
Fingers crossed, baby. I don't know. There's too many opinions. Like, I would like to get to like highlighting some stuff from the albums. Now, I don't want to fucking.
Okay, what's the best highlight of the album?
For side B?
Sure. You can do side A or side B. They're both the same album. I mean, literally, side B is side A and side B.
Man, for side A, like I think everything for the most part. The only thing I don't like on side A is the Ed Sheeran song. That shit's just not for me. I don't like anything that's upbeat though. That's not an Eminem thing. That's just like a personal preference thing. But like the whole way that side A played out, I really like. The beats I think are a highlight on there. I don't think Em really had any. That reminds me of the imagery. Like I like the imagery on Stepdad. That shit was funny as hell to me when he was fucking talking about like, for Christmas I got some colored books and some crayons. He kicked my dog.
I love how the dog was brought up on each verse. I think the truth to that song was that his stepdad really did kill his dog. And that's kind of where the anger stemmed from because he brings it up in all 3 verses.
Yeah, I like that. That was funny. That shit killed me the whole time. I know everybody gets mad and they do the whole fucking, my stepdad. But that song's funny, bro. Like, and that's the thing I'm saying, too. Like, another fucking...
I find the comparisons to, like, Brain Damage. Like, I think it's pretty parallel with the way the song was scripted.
The only thing I would say... here we go, back to critiquing again. I don't think the interlude matches the song. Like, when I hear the stepdad interlude, I expect it to go into, like a darker, more traumatic, serious song, and then you get actual stepdad. And I like when you listen to him back to back like that. I don't know. It's a little disjointed for me.
I don't take it serious because the guy who's the stepdad sounds like what's his name from Step Brothers? Not Will Ferrell, the other one. He sounds exactly like him, so I can't take it serious regardless.
I wouldn't be surprised if that fucking was him.
But go back and re-listen to it with that in mind. That's who it sounds like. So I was never taking it serious from the beginning.
Yeah. Another highlight. Royce, Black Dot.
The features were so fucking better on side A than they were on side B.
I don't want to shit on Young M.A., but I didn't feel her on this album. I know she has better solo songs, but...
Even with Young M.A. out the picture, you got Black Dot, you got Royce da 5'9" on quite a bit of them. You got fucking...
what do you have, 3?
White Gold. I think 3.
Royce has 3. That fucking feature from...
Slaughterhouse.
Minus the best member, Joe Budden. What is this guy's name? I'm fucking blanking right now. The singer. Oh, the Anderson .Paak feature on that.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak, Don Toliver.
Don Toliver was showing his ass on that.
So I think the features on side A were extremely better than side B. I don't know if it was because of COVID and I guess people can't phone in verses for some reason from different studios, but I guess COVID played a big role on who he could have featured on it.
I think he just, from the sounds of it, is he probably got his roll off with side B, and he probably just didn't, like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need anybody.
I was saying this during the intermission, that I think side B was him being bored at home during COVID, and just fucking got in the studio and started fucking around, and was all like, you know what? Side B. Boom.
There you go, baby. That's a side B. It's like I say, I don't want to come off like I hate it. I do like both sides. I think they both have their pros and their cons on some parts. Like, more time will tell. I do like, there's a lot of memorable shit on side B still too. Like, at least once a day I fucking rap. She says I'm trash, but she listens to Tekashi. Bitch, you lost me. Like, every fucking day, so... I do like Higher. Higher is one of the better anthem songs Eminem has. That you know me, I'm not a big anthem guy. I don't like Not Afraid. Everybody likes that. Like, Higher is pretty good. I do like Killa. I don't know why though. I can't put my.
Because Eminem actually sang right on it, probably.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like when I very first came on, I'm like.
Here we go with the singing again.
I'm like, sometimes I like it. Like, I liked it when he sang on Haley's song. There's a song on Marshall Mathers LP. There's 2 songs where he's singing. It's not the bad one. That's for sure. I think Beautiful Pain is the one I don't like.
I mean LP 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sings on Beautiful Pain.
There's one. He hits a note on it that, like, fucks me up every time, but that's my fucking shit.
Are you talking about, when he's talking about... I assume Kim.
I think it's the Better Than I Was.
Oh, I forgot that's on there.
Yeah.
I don't know Better Than I Was is good.
It's probably not that good, but I like it anyway.
That's like one of the ones that's very comparable to Haley's song, where 2 verses he's singing and then raps on the 3rd one. Like he does in Haley's song.
That was pretty good. Yeah, let's start doing that.
Which I think Haley's song is on Eminem LP 1, correct? Oh, no, that's on the Eminem show. Yeah. Why would he do that on...
I'm assuming that's because, like, all that shit was starting to go down with the beef and shit, too. Or maybe it's just a fucking, like, Eminem's always been rapping about his kids, and you always hear about him being what seems like a good parent and like that. So I have no doubt Eminem has that much love to just, like, dedicate a whole fucking song to his daughter like that.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Then you have, so we already said Beautiful Pain. Stronger Than I Was.
I didn't like Stronger Than I Was.
What else?
I'ma get back up and
But let me tell you, I fucking sing the fuck out of that every time it comes on.
Is that your shower song?
No, my shower song is the intro to the Carter 5. That's my shit. With his mom crying.
Oh, I was like, bro, what
Many feet, bro.
I thought you were talking about Don't Cry, because I could definitely see that.
No.
That's the gay imagery we need, is Vic just in the shower. Don't cry! Oh, I hate that guy so bad. If you're a triple XXX Tentacles fan, fuck out of here.
Tortellini.
Squidward Tentellini? Yeah, I hate that guy.
That's an awfully hot coffee pot.
I don't care, man.
That's my new thing now.
Man, like, not to get off on a fucking tangent, but, like, it basically, after he passed away, like, a leaked audio came out that, like, all this shit that was, like, claimed that he did to his fucking pregnant girlfriend was basically like, yeah, I did that shit. Talking about I fucking beat her. Talking about raping her with a fucking, like, the fork for the grill. He,
God
like,
damn.
chained her in a fucking bathroom. They fucking took her out to a shed, locked her up in that, was beating on her. Like, it was fucked up, dude. Like, he basically did everything short of, like, killing this girl.
So he fucking put it on a song?
No,
Or is
he
this,
was just
audio?
talking.
Is it
Yeah,
fucking
and then
audio?
I was watching another fucking thing where, like, he was trying to, like, threaten her while he was in jail for the same shit. Talking about, like, oh, I can make her do what I want. Like, you know you want to come fucking save me. But he's, like, trying to fucking, like, he's talking to her real threatening and shit. And he had no remorse for the shit. So I don't have no remorse that he died. I don't feel bad at all.
People die.
GG, no re. Learn from this.
Yep. One day, I'm gonna die. I just hope I live long enough to see it. So anyway, on side B, I feel like there is more parallels to it seems more like to Relapse. And I think that's mainly because of writing the beat. He does it in Relapse quite a bit. And I know Relapse kind of stems on the rapey, murder, drug addict line. But if you were to sit back and throw that out the fucking trash and just listen to the flows on it, I think they're pretty comparable with how he raps to these kind of trap-esque beats. Because they are pretty trap-esque in Relapse. And I think that kind of worked in his favor. For me, at least, because I love Relapse. And
I
love
just
it for that
wish
exact
if
reason.
that's what you were going to do, which I agree. I think a lot of things sound like that you would have leaned more into the murder.
I think Relapse should have been music to be murdered by.
Yeah,
I think if you would have put that name on the Relapse, it'd flow coherently. Because you have the murder, you have the rape, you have the drugs, you got, things that fall along the lines of murder.
Yeah. That's another thing for me, too. This is just a personal thing. Like, I like it when people commit to the themes of their albums. Like, nothing on side B, aside from a couple things here and there where he throws in some bars that are a little bit like I'm gonna rape you. Like, oh, I'm gonna murder you. I think more, like he's saying, like, if you're gonna go like that, like, make it like Relapse. Just don't do the accents and just, like, lean into the murder. And that would have helped, I think, make this more memorable. Like, I'm a big person that correlates the title of the album to what's on the album.
Yeah.
And it's like, if it doesn't match, it's like, that'd be like if, like, in Kill Bill, he didn't die in the end. Like, they never killed him. You'd be like...
Or if he just died of natural causes, like, he
Yeah.
wasn't killed.
He just ages to death.
Spoiler alert! Bill dies in Kill Bill. Who would have fucking thought?
Oh, yeah. If you've never seen Kill Bill, there was a spoiler warning. It was subliminal.
Yeah, you should have
But you
saw
see
it
what I'm
coming.
saying, though? Like, if that was you
gotta
get that same feeling of being like, man, this is a pretty good movie, but, like...
Wait a minute.
They didn't kill Bill! Like, this was music to be murdered by.
Yeah, like I said, with the Eminem show, it was a very safe title because it's Eminem's life being put on the stage for everybody to see. Or another album that I really do relate to the Eminem show, it's called 3, where 3 is a reference to the last number before I pull the trigger. Also a reference to death comes in threes, comedy comes in threes. 3's used quite a bit. It's a pretty good album.
Pornhub page number 3.
But, yeah, while we're on the tangent here, I have hard copies now. You can buy them in the link below. Or you can stream it for free if you have Apple Music or Spotify. I recommend you buy the hard copy because these are signed. I can't fucking sign a digital copy. And if I could, I fucking wouldn't. Fuck you. Okay, back to what we were talking about.
Oh, another tangent. February 19th.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Shit.
February 19th. First official, technically, 2Dim single. Rapture album. Single, The Omen. We may have shot a little music video thingy today. I don't know. We probably did or didn't. Nobody knows. It's probably going to come out after the song or won't.
Or it might come out the same day as the song.
I might drop the album same day as Kanye. You don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, February 19th. Go stream that shit. Go stream that shit.
Share that shit.
Share that shit. Buy that shit.
And then stream that shit.
Yeah, stream that shit. Because there's not going to be physical copies of it. I don't do autographs. So.
I mean, I have his autograph right here, so.
I don't do autographs. That's somebody else did that.
I forged it. I forged all 5 of these signatures.
It was a forgery. But, yeah. So, if you want more music to be murdered by, Rapture. There we go.
Yeah, I think Rapture kind of is a... I wouldn't even say it's inspired by music to be murdered by, because this album was in the fucking, like, pre-production way before Music to be Murdered by came out.
Correct.
And I know that, like, when it does come out, it will probably be compared to Music to be Murdered by, or they'll think we drew inspiration from it. But we didn't. We were doing it first. We were doing the horror shit. We have proof to this with our Freddy vs. Jason trilogy. It's always been in our plan to follow horror themes. I don't know why Eminem got the idea randomly to do Alfred Hitchcock shit. I'm just saying, maybe he's fucking robbing us. I know
you bit off us.
I think I see a lawsuit coming eventually.
Yeah,
when we have the money for it. And
After
how will we get the money for it? When they stream The Omen
on February 19th. Stream it. It'll be good. It'll be worth your while. If you like bars, there's lots of bars.
Yeah.
There might even be a song after that with even more bars.
And there's no corny bars on this one.
No, I got a corny bar on there. I do. I got one corny scenario in there, but it's for me. I wrote it for me. It's cathartic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I like Call of Duty. That's all I'm gonna throw out there. I like Call of Duty, so. No, I'm bullshitting. That's the wrong song. That's on another song that has corny bars. Just the one though.
So as I said, there are no corny bars in The Omen. And you'll very rarely see any corny bars on Rapture. I will put the snippet again to The Omen in the intermission. Back to Music to be Murdered by. What you think about the cover art?
The cover art is dope. I really do like that. I like it. Quentin Tarantino said it too. He's like, great artists steal. They don't pay homage. And that's basically what he did. He basically stole his shots, and it's like, I like that. If you're gonna do it, I'm a big fan of Go with the Hilt.
Yep.
All the way.
Creators create, artists steal.
Yeah. I like the alternate covers too. I think no matter what cover you end up getting on this album, it's gonna be good. Unlike Recovery, only the alternate cover is good, or Revival, where
no cover is good.
No cover is good.
He literally I can do this myself. I go take a picture of an American flag, take a picture of me doing this.
The worst part is people didn't even know it was him. I swear to God, I was watching somebody interview him, and they're like, "Who's sitting there?" He's like, "It's me." They don't even know it's you. That's fucked, dude. Man, we need to copy the Recovery album art.
Why?
I'm just playing.
Do you do drugs?
Not anymore.
I've never done drugs. I feel like that'd be very hypocritical. Here's my album. Drugs.
Drugs? What are you on, drugs?
If I made a Binge album that was good.
Binge was super good. I'm bullshitting. I don't even know one song off Binge. I know there was one.
Nylon. That's the only good. Oh, and Rap Devil. But Binge is old news now.
Man, fucking not to plug MGK, but I kind of have to. His fucking freestyles, though, that came out after Hotel Diablo, all them shits, super fire. I
feel like there are a lot of rappers who do better in freestyles than they do on their songs.
Maybe it's label shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a level of that, and sometimes when you just do a freestyle, you don't have to worry about clearing a sample, because sometimes you write a whole song because you're inspired by that sample or whatever, and then it doesn't fucking get cleared. Now you're like, well, fuck my album then.
Guess I gotta go write a new one.
As for if you do a mixtape or if you do a freestyle, I'm pretty sure MGK didn't clear any of those fucking samples, but all of them were they were magnifique. So I think that plays a big part into it. I know Eminem was saying that too, where he wanted to more so play into the Alfred Hitchcock stuff. I'm assuming getting more of the skits from the OG album, but not being able to get them cleared. So that makes sense.
Man, all that money and you can't clear samples.
So, what we'll do side A, side B, except for on B, there's going to be an exception. What is your least favorite part about side A?
My least favorite part, or like my least
It
favorite
can be
song?
least favorite song, something about it like that rubs you wrong. It can be whatever. Just the one thing about side A that is.
But did I do with it? Oh, you had it less.
Yeah, it's there. It's just flat now. You're not gonna reach.
Okay, cool. Premonition's fucking great. Unaccommodating Eminem killed it. You Gonna Learn's fucking great. Those Kind of Nights I like. In Too Deep. That's a good one. Godzilla. Yeah, it broke a record. Darkness. That one's pretty deep and dark one. Leaving Heaven. I fucking love Leaving Heaven. It makes me want to. Not gonna say that. Yeah. That's a good one too. Stepdad. It's one of those that I kind of skip but kind of don't. It's pretty up there. Marsh. That's as much as I like Marsh. It's pretty. I already forgot that was on the album. Never Love Again. I liked it. Little Engine. I liked it. Locked It Up. Lock It Up's fucking good.
I like Marsh. I still remember Marsh.
Yeah. Farewell. No Regrets. I Will.
This is pretty solid.
Yeah, this is solid. Stepdad, but that's not really like. It's not a shit song. It's just my least favorite one on there. The thing that I probably would say that this thing was missing, a fucking Paul skit, or a
Hey, it's Paul.
either a Paul skit or a fucking.
Yeah, they could have done a skit where they killed Paul.
Yeah, that would have been fucking great.
Yeah, I'm not a skit guy, but like sometimes they're good.
I'm a skit guy. I got skits. That's what I do. You should go listen to those skits. On what album?
What?
You should listen to my skits. On what album?
Oh, 3.
3. You can also hear them on Caliber too, but 3 first.
Sometimes they're good, but it's like, I know for me, like, so a lot of times I'm at work, I work 12 hours straight, so it's like I just drive a forklift around and fucking I'm listening to music. And like nothing like pisses me off more when I'm like on a good roll of like 20 songs shuffled in, and then I got somebody's lame ass like skit like trying to like be theatrical. Like, y'all aren't actors. Like, if I wanted to, I'd put Netflix on in my earpiece and listen to people talk. I want to hear songs.
I mean, technically speaking, Eminem is an actor.
I said what I said. I want to hear songs. Yeah, that shit throws me out of rhythm. Sometimes they're good though. If you're listening to, if you just bought an album and you're listening to it straight through, sometimes they play out pretty good. Like I brought up the Stepdad skit, so that does play into it.
I do think too that he did a good job on keeping the skits to a small time frame versus like the Kenny Kniff skit.
I was gonna say, even in the Eminem show, which I think is one of the only perfect rap albums, the few perfect rap albums, I do think the skits go on like.
Too long?
Yeah, I skip the skits every time. Like I don't have time for that shit.
I do think that side A needed more.
Let me see this. I forgot that you even got this. Does it have both track lists?
Yeah,
it
I
does.
think side A needed more samples from either Alfred Hitchcock or murder-esque movies, because I think like Little Engine, that one was pretty good. I know a lot of people didn't like Little Engine, but I felt that held true to Music to Be Murdered By. And then like Alfred's theme from side B, as much as I don't like it being just a loop, it still fit in with, Alfred Hitchcock. Side B though, I do have some things that I don't like.
I was gonna say the only exception is you can't say COVID bars.
I love side B. No, I'm kidding. There, what's his name? I gotta see the track list on this.
Oh, I fucked.
He's about to ruin my shit.
I'll buy you a new one if I do.
He's about to buy me a new one.
No, that's good. It's not bad. I can get it back in the book, but now I don't. I'm scared to take it out.
Let me just see the fucking thing. I got you. You want this, right?
I don't know if I want it now.
Jesus, fuck. You act like you've never held CDs before.
I have a whole wall of these.
I know. You couldn't tell.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
It's different.
They have different art on them. Usually all albums have art inside the booklet. Nat, obviously the first half because of the COVID bars, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. But I cannot stand whoever the fuck Mages or MAJ ruin the song. I think These Demons is personally one of my favorite songs on the album. Would have been the best song on this album, except for the fact that Mage is on it. I don't think the chorus fucking, held up to the standard of the verses. I know Kyle has said that he sounds like he's trying to impersonate Juice World, and I don't think it worked with this song. What else on here?
Oh, that's fucking cool. Sorry, a little bit of tangent here reading this. Eminem actually has a YouTube producer on here that produced Favorite Bitch. You remember MJ Nichols? You ever heard of that guy? He's a YouTube producer. That's pretty cool. And then apparently, Skylar Grey produced Black Magic with Jason DiZurio.
Wow.
If I fucked your name up, my bad, dog.
We'll make it up to you. Make us a beat.
Yeah, you can go into the COVID bars again. That's fine. About not liking those on side Bs.
I think they just fucking...
they're not going to age well. COVID bars into the ground.
Regardless of if COVID will last forever or not, I think it fucking ruins the timelessness of an album. I mean, the only time that kind of shit works is if you're dissing someone. Because I know, the beef with Nas and Jay-Z is kind of squashed now, but Stillmatic still holds up to date because it's a fucking hard-ass diss. But when you're talking about COVID, or you're talking about something that just doesn't age, like, remember the word feels? Like, you're stuck in your feels. Do you hear anybody say that anymore?
Yeah, I still do.
I don't hear anybody saying that anymore.
People comment that shit on, like, Facebook and shit. I was never with that, the stupid shit.
I'm an avid watcher and viewer of memes and shit, and I've never seen anyone use the word feels anymore.
It still happens, I promise you. I may be like somebody who stutters and fucks up my words, so I'm a hypocrite. But I'm like a huge about completing your words. Like when people shorten words for no fucking reason, it drives me nuts. Like when people say shit like cray, or what's another one that really fucking irks me, or feels instead of feelings, or I hate that shit so bad. It just I'm instantly done with the conversation at that point.
I have the same feeling towards T.I. when he pronounces words without the S in them for no fucking reason.
What do you mean? You got an example?
No. He does it a lot on Dime Trap though, which is
where they're plural, but he doesn't say the S.
Doesn't even plural. It can be in the word, and he will not pronounce the S.
He might have the same problem. I have a verse out here. I won't say where, but that bitch is full of S's, and I just sound like a snake the whole time.
Yeah, but his is not like that.
Because you don't say the S?
No, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of S's and still won't pronounce the S.
He don't want that? He's just fuck
it's the same thing with, partner.
I can imagine T.I. being like, man, what's for dinner tonight? And then Tiny's like, spaghetti. He's like, I like spaghetti.
That's something he would fucking do. Spaghetti and meatballs.
Oh, fuck. We've been up for a long time, man. We
just got through shooting a fucking music video. My voice is kind of gone. I don't know if you could notice. And it's fucking 4 a.m. That usually isn't shit for us, but I've been up since 8 a.m. So, so yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm on this bitch on 3 hours too. I feels you. I had to install a refrigerator today. You don't care, but that's what I had to do.
What are you gonna put on your fridge? Are you gonna do magnets or anything? You're just gonna keep it bare? It's
a retro fridge. It looks like one of the old Coke fridges, except it's black, like everything else in my room. So
are you gonna do the fucking alphabet, the letters, so you can write down Meg the Stallion hit me up?
Oh yeah, dude, we gotta call me, Meg. It's okay.
It's okay.
Somewhere right here, we'll put the number up. It's cool. I don't give a fuck.
We are not doing that. I'll tell you what. We'll put half the number up. If you want the other half,
you gotta call me to get.
We have a comment section, and we're not canceled.
Follow
we're not
me on
turning
Twitter.
them off.
Twitter.
Yeah, there we go. We'll put the Twitter up right here.
And the numbers.
And half the numbers.
And half the numbers. We'll just give them miscellaneous ones. That may or may not be it. No, I'm not going to put my number out there. I don't want somebody to hear my Eminem slander and then, like, try to call me.
Why don't you fucking Eminem call you? Like the fucking skit with the Yahoo fucker?
Man, that was funny. I remember when that fucking skit came out and fucking Sean C., he's another reactor reviewer, and he's from Detroit, so he's like, man, is this about me? Because he was talking shit about Revival too. That shit had me dead. I'm like, that'd be fucking hilarious if it was about Sean C. And then he's like doing a reaction and shit, and just Eminem just like kicks in the door.
Like getting swatted or some shit. Just
Hell
boom!
Like, you don't like Revival? With the fucking beard?
With the beard. I like the beard.
I like the beard now, I'm not gonna lie, man. Full homo, that's sexy now. That bitch looking...
He's looking
thick.
like he's aging well now. I didn't really like him because you can see him aging, and it just didn't sit well when he had the blonde hair in Eminem LP2.
I don't know why, like I hate to comment on another man's look because that's full gay, but I already prefaced with that. And it seemed like at that point when he re-went blonde, they were doing like a lot of close-up face shots and shit of him too. Like I don't know, like it was looking suspect for a minute.
I just think of like the Adventures of Moonman and Slim. Like, I don't like his face on that cover. It just doesn't look right.
I gotta see it now. What you're talking about?
My boy Nick is sending me the vinyl.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about Eminem's verse on that song?
Yes.
1 to 10.
Uh-huh.
Come on, man.
I sure do. Let me think. Let me think of the bars here. Even on the fluoride swish.
Yeah, that's a pretty, like, that looks like something I could do in my phone.
Yeah, and then, like, Eminem just, it doesn't look right. Right?
Yeah, it looks a little funny.
I'll put a fucking photo up of the cover. So you can see what I mean.
10, what'd you think?
I'd probably give it a 7.
What'd you think of Kid Cudi's verse?
I'd probably give it a 5.5. And that's all for energy. Like, he sat well with it.
Those are good ratings, man. Those are good ratings.
That's a good one, too.
I'm going to go with 6 and 3.
3 for Kid Cudi?
3, yeah.
So...
Yeah, 3.
3. But...
I'm not a big Kid
I was going to say,
fan.
let's go into that for a few minutes here. That could also be kind of biased, right?
No.
You don't think so?
No, because it's like I can not know about somebody's discography and or be a big fan of them. It's like I'm not a big Kanye fan personally, like as far as his music goes.
Not
but
one make you have all that.
Yeah, but that shit is hard. Like
Yeah.
even though like I said, I'm not a big Kanye fan. Like I can hate your discography, but it's like if it's got bars or is a good verse. Like, Kid Cudi's not a rapper. Kid Cudi should not be rapping. He's not that good at it. Like, barely good at singing. Like, get one thing and then fucking... I don't know. Like, I'm not... Yeah, you're right. I don't think it's biased, but I'm also not a Cudi fan. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm here to critique it. But, like, as far as the rapping went, he was not rapping good.
Even Eminem knew that, and you can tell he really fucking stepped back.
That's why M got a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you can tell he wasn't really trying. It was kind of phoned in, so to speak.
Do you think it ages weirdly that he did the shout out to Snoop Dogg on that, where he's like, Snoop D-O double, that's 2 G's. And then here comes side B and he's like, Snoop dogging me. You were like a damn god to me. Nah, not really.
God backwards.
That's weird.
I mean, yeah, but that happens in fucking rap. It does. I mean, you saw how Eminem called out the Outsiders in, what was that? The Wicked Ways? I think in Wicked Ways he calls out, he fucking thanks Outsiders. Now here's As Is fucking talking shit. And
Nobody gives a fuck about As Is.
I'm just saying, it's still a thing that happened. And, I mean, you have Jay-Z and fucking Nas on Black Republican when they had the fucking beef prior to that too. I mean, that's just nature of the beast.
So you know how like Nas and Jay-Z patched up their beef?
Yeah.
So like I heard this and it made me wonder if how true this was. But apparently Jay-Z and Beyonce dropped the Carter's album the same day that Kanye's Nas album dropped, and like people were saying like that's how petty Jay-Z is because he's got beef with Kanye now because of like all the fuckery Kanye's been doing and shit. They're not talking, and because of the beef with Nas, like that's the type of little petty shit
I wouldn't be surprised.
that Jay-Z does. I'm like, man, if that's the case, bro, that's fucking hilarious. Like to like still be patched up, but like 20 years later, still be like, yeah, I'm still gonna drop the album same day. Same day as Kanye.
I mean, obviously, I think it'd be more intentional than anything. Like, it's a coincidence? Like, you really expect us to believe shit like that happens?
Yeah, I imagine once you're that high up on the rap charts and shit, everybody kind of knows when people are gonna do what they're gonna do. Aside from Eminem. Oh, fuck.
Well, on that note, I think we should probably cut this. We're both fucking dying slowly.
Yeah, this is gonna be a short episode. It should have been longer for us talking about Eminem, but everything with Eminem at this point is like been dissected, fucking badgered into the ground. It's like, I know it sounds like, at least for me, I was being an asshole, but I'm a huge Eminem fan, and I just want him to do whatever's gonna make him happy as a fucking person, whether that be release 72 more albums where he fucking does the key skit, or he fucking retires. It doesn't matter to me either way.
I will go out and say side A and side B are better than any project he's done after Relapse. But I'm not counting Shady 15. I'm talking about studio albums.
The singles on Shady 15 were pretty good.
Shady 15 was good. Southpaw was good.
Shady 15 wasn't that good.
And you know what we need? Bad Meets Evil 2.
Bad Meets Evil 2. Alright, instead of let's cut it in short, let's talk about that real quick.
I got mine signed. I know
if you had to rate Bad Meets Evil and M's discography, like with his solo albums, where does it go for you?
Oh, okay.
And then same thing with Royce.
The Bad Meets Evil was still number 2 on my list if I'm counting Bad Meets Evil into the list of Eminem albums. Obviously nothing's gonna beat the Eminem show. On Royce's shit, though, are we also including Prime?
Yeah, you can go ahead and include Prime. I always include Prime because it's like, yeah, they're a group, but like Royce is the only rapper.
Yeah. That might take a minute.
I'll say for me, I'd probably put Bad Meets Evil at like 3 or 4 in M's discography.
Behind what?
Behind the Eminem show, Music to Be Murdered by Side A, probably the Marshall Mathers LP. Yeah.
And then Bad Meets Evil?
Then Bad Meets Evil, then probably Relapse.
I think Bad Meets Evil would be 3 on my Royce list because it's Prime, Layers, Bad Meets Evil. Prime is only on the top spot though for more nostalgia than anything, and on top of that I actually saw him perform Prime and we met him, so it kind of has a more sentimental value.
Yeah. I'd about agree with that. I put Layers above Prime though for me. I do like Layers. I don't know, that's hard, man. They're 2 different albums. They're probably about tied. Yeah, I'd say the same thing though, and then probably the Allegory's like right there. I do like the Allegory.
Yep, so you got a list out of us.
You got some
He was more generous. He gave top 5 of Eminem's albums. I'm saving my top list for a video.
My top everything changes all the time, so don't feel like you got anything exclusive. I'm bipolar, like my relatives.
Like my top 5 rappers are Eminem or Royce. That's interchangeable for top spot. And then we got fucking Biggie. Then we got Nas. And then we got 2Dem. And 2Dem's interchangeable with all of them.
Oh man, the way you did that fucked up my top 5, man. Yeah, my top 5 cheats. So I got Tupac in there at number 1. Lil Wayne, Eminem, and Royce are all tied for 2. Dim at 3 and 4, and then me at 5. Yeah, there we go.
All right, cool. That's not fucking. That's cheating, but we're all right.
Playing my real top 5 because I never put myself in my top 5. That's for other people to decide. It's Tupac, Eminem, Lil Wayne, Royce, and Nas.
And in no particular order? Because it changes.
Yeah, it changes. Because my top 5 sometimes, like, if I just go off of, like who influenced the way I feel about hip-hop more, it's like Tupac's my number 1 as far as, like, just inspiration goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes it's, like, for, like, skill, I'm like, man, M's really good. But then sometimes Royce does some shit where I'm like, fuck. And then Wayne is Wayne. So Wayne always ends up back at number 1 more often than not. Because I feel like, aside from producing, Wayne can do all those things that I look for. Unless Wayne's been out here, like, low-key producing for Dr. Dre or something this whole time. That would be funny.
That would be funny. It'd be funnier if we found out Dr. Dre was ghostwriting for Lil Wayne the whole time.
Bruh. That reminds me, before I forget, I want to say Dr. Dre has, like, Dr. Dre's verse on Side B sounded really good. That shit was... If Dre just needs to drop a whole album where he's rapping like that. Like, I know we said it's reminiscent of Compton, but it's like, I don't know, something about that was a little bit different. Like, I like the way they were really fucking with the vocals on that. I was like...
Well, on the chorus, I mean, the fucking...
It's like they had a
when
fucking
he says
voice
ground, when he goes ground.
Yeah, that shit was
that's
hard.
that's a Compton thing. He does that a few times in Compton.
Man.
Where he does kind of like the quartet thing. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not saying it's bad. I like the quartet thing. I think it works for that
what
kind
he's
of
doing.
yeah. For that kind of rap.
I gotta re-listen to Compton. I'm not gonna lie. I listened for the big hit songs on there. I listened for the Kendrick verses, which were all fucking fire on there, dude. Kendrick was snapping on Compton.
Oh, yeah.
If Kendrick did that on a whole solo album, bro, like that, Kendrick could break into my top 5 if he was rapping like that.
I think Kendrick just needs to do just a rap album, not a conceptual one, just a fucking rap album. Just
I don't think we'll ever get that out of
rap.
Kendrick. I think Kendrick probably feels like he's at that point, because if Kendrick just did a rap album, like, a lot of people are gonna be upset, I think.
Probably. Then make it a mixtape or an EP.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, let's just fucking him and J. Cole.
Huh?
Him and J. Cole.
I
J.
don't
Cole
wanna
do
hear
the
that.
choruses, Kendrick do the rapping. Boom.
I don't want to hear that album.
I do.
I really.
I'll listen to that shit.
I don't think they don't rap in a way that is comparable to me. Like when I think of like group albums, like when I think of like Bad Meets Evil, or even like a Wayne and a Drake, or a Watch the Throne, like they're two. Yeah, they're both like conscious, but the way they go about doing it is so different. I can't see it ever like gelling. I think it'll just be like every song will feel like one featuring the other, I think, instead of feeling like an actual collab album is what I think.
I would listen to it.
I would too. I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna buy it. I'd buy it with the next Meg Thee Stallion album, but bro, Meg Thee Stallion's good. I know this seems like I'm fucking around, because I low-key am, but like for real, I'm a big Meg Thee Stallion fan. Female rap's starting to look better, I think, now. You're starting to see a lot more. Like, Cardi's not really a bad rapper. She don't write all her shit, but as far as like rapping goes, she's not bad. I'm a fucking big Meg fan. Nicki's still popping around with hot verses. You got Rhapsody. Like, Snow the Product. She don't get mentioned enough at all. There's a... what is it? Is it Angel Doll? Is that what it was? The one who dissed Tory Lanez.
I know who you're talking about.
That's one of the dolls. It's not Asian Doll. I'm not an Asian Doll fan. She been biting King Von's whole style since he died. That shit is disrespectful as fuck. And I know it, I don't think it's one of the dolls. I think it's Angel Doll or some shit like that, or Dream Doll. There's too many dolls. I think there's a Cuban doll, an Angel Doll, Asian Doll.
Is it like the female comparison of Lil?
That's something, dude. There's a lot. There's a fucking lot of them. There's too many to remember. Yeah, but that's just looking good.
All right, so I think a lot of the female rappers, and from my perspective, get ignored because no one's like man, I really want to listen to Cardi B right now. I mean, I'm not like that. And besides you, I don't know anyone else that's like that.
I do. I look forward to those songs.
Yeah,
I
know
listen
you
to
do.
them unironically too. Like I'm not talking no shit. I really do. Like I've been listening to, like I just listened to Up, fucking yesterday like 6 different times. Not cause of all the sexual innuendo or anything. Cry Baby's out now. Meg Thee Stallion and the Baby. I done heard that a bunch of times. What is it? I'm pretty sure it's called Don't Stop by Meg. Like, I go to them all the time. No, so... I mean, it's in a good place. Somebody made a point, though. I forgot what I was watching. I think it was Dead in Hip Hop. Where they said, like, there's such an overabundance of male rappers. Like, we never feel like we have to listen to female rappers. You know what I'm saying? It's,
yeah.
Like, from our perspective. And I was like, I think that's a pretty good point. I think that's what... Because it's hard to, like, I know a lot of people will get mad if you don't say, like, Nicki Minaj is in your, like, top 5 or top 10. But it's like, look at all the great rappers before her that she has to compete with. It's like, so it probably is a little more hard, but you gotta, like, if you want to be considered great, like, nobody's just gonna be, like, the top great female rappers. You want to be considered the great, you really gotta fucking go for that.
That's also a good point. How many people have a female rapper in their top 5?
Aside from a lot of, like, women or gay men, I wouldn't assume a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you could swap people out. Like, you could swap, like, out of mine. Like, for Nas, you could put, like, Missy Elliott. I want to say Foxy, but it's like, if I'm taking Nas out, I can't replace him with Foxy. It's the same. A lot of people could say Lil' Kim's in their top 5. I'm not going to say that, but you could say it.
We're not stopping you.
Yeah, nobody's stopping you. You could argue for Nicki, you really can, but my problem with Nicki is she dropped more pop than rap. And when she does rap, it's not... Sometimes Nicki has bars, but then other times I'm just like, I could live without that. I feel like Snoop Dogg now. That shit, I could live without that. Yeah, but it's hard. It definitely is. And it's like a lot of female rappers all rap about the same thing. And it's
Getting
like...
fucked.
Yeah, where it's like there's a lot of male rappers that rap about the same thing, but it's in different categories. Like some rappers just like to rap about horrorcore, so you split up into that. Some just like to rap about conscious shit, so you're split up into that. Some just like to
Novelty
do ad-libs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So there's all these different categories. With like with a lot of female rappers, it's just like, man,
how good I fucked him.
My pussy is so great. Wait till I put this pussy on
your
forehead.
sideburns.
And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, as long as you do it in a way that feels genuine, like Cardi B and Megan are both prime examples. Like, they're both rapping about similar shit, but something about the way both of them do it, for me, is like okay, like, this my shit now. Like, so. It's definitely hard, man. That's some shit. But I definitely think for females, you can make an argument for Missy. And a lot of people want to make an argument for Lauryn Hill, but Lauryn Hill to me only has one solo album. And it's like, I haven't done my due diligence to listen to that. I know she's in the Fugees too, but I haven't listened to that either. Alright now.
Okay, before we start getting into tangents of fucking crazy talk from being, fucking tired, we're gonna end it here. Thanks for joining us if you joined us. If you didn't, fuck you. These are all opinions. Nothing that we are saying is factual. I mean, obviously, everything is it's all subjective. So
yeah, don't feel bad. I care about y'all's opinions just as much as I care about my own. I don't. You can throw all the opinions you want in the world. There's a whole comment section. If you feel different, feel free to fucking comment it, man. They're just opinions. They're not the end of the world. It don't have to be on site when we see each other because you feel the way you feel or I feel the way I feel. Like, we gotta stop being afraid to say how we feel about shit because we're gonna get canceled. Like, I'm already canceled. We're canceled already. We're at 40 views. Cancel us. It don't fucking matter. Stop being afraid to say how you feel.
Rapture's still coming out.
Yeah, no matter what. I'll run Pornhub ads. It don't matter to me. I get paid a good hourly wage. I can do it. But
So,
for
yeah.
realsies, we are out. And again, don't be afraid to say how you feel. Put it in the comments. If you think we can fuck off, comment that too. If you want to send us gifts, we don't have an address to send them to, so keep them shits to yourself for now.
We will one day though.
We out.
To put a PO box.
Yeah, we can get a big one for the
Get like boxes of shit.
like coal or like bags of
Just
horse
send
shit.
us like 20 fucking Playboy Cardi albums, bro.
Oh no, man! If you're gonna send me albums, send me Meg's album. I'm for real, Meg.
If you're gonna send me albums,
Meg.
send me vinyls. I need more vinyls.
If you're gonna send him albums, send him Meg Thee Stallion albums as well, so them
Vinyls.
bitches can come to me.
Vinyls are expensive nowadays for some fucking reason. So, vinyls. These are like $10 or less. Like mine. $10, that's it.
I just realized you have Magna Carta Holy Grail on
Yeah.
the wall.
You just noticed that?
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
All right, let's end on that. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck Jay-Z.
And your baby mama, your head in the mail. Snowstorm on the dining room table, I'm falling right off of the rails. Tell her what Kanye conducting my funeral. M on the eulogy, straws on my tombstone. Wait on the verses, funeral floor. I'll be back on the 7th. You got